Hi everyone, I had some requests for some problems that we wanted to see the answers to in the statistics packet, so stay tuned. The first question was question number 5. Mr. Cruz used a dot plot to display the number of questions that each student answered correctly on the math quiz. So the question says, which statement correctly describes the data? So when it says there is a cluster means that the groups of numbers are close together. So it seems like it says there's a cluster from 5 to 7. So let's look at 5 to 7. Is there a cluster of data between 5 and 7? I would say no. So I would actually say the cluster of the data would more likely be between 8, 9, and 10, or 8 and 9 at the very least. Okay, so this is not a correct answer. So let's look at this one. I should have crossed that off instead of actually. There we go. The median of the data is 7.5. Well, the only way to check to see if that's correct is to go through and list all of our data points and figure out the middle. So 7.5, which means that my median would have to be between 7 and 8. And if I look at 8 and 9 and 10, most of the data is actually towards the right. So my median is not going to be that low. So I'm going to say that is incorrect as well. The mode of the data is 9. We know that the mode is the most, and the most for this one is actually 8. So that is not correct. What that means is that this one would be correct. There's a gap at 6. What a gap means is that there's a place where there is no data. And that fits because there's a gap in the data. It's not 4 because there's no data before that. That would not be a gap, but there's data at 5 and there's data at 7 and no data at 6, which means there is a gap at 6. Number 7, the box plot shows statistics for the daytime temperatures in a city for 2 weeks. What conclusion can be drawn using the statistics? So this is a box plot. Let's look at the first one. The daytime temperature in the city is usually around 46 degrees. So if we say it's usually around 46 degrees, that would be our mean or our mode. And can you figure that out looking at a box plot? And the answer to that is no, you cannot. On half of the days during the 2 weeks, the temperature was at least 46 degrees. So when it says half of the days, that means we need to split our data in half, which means we need to find the median. And which one of these points in this plot is the median? And it is this one. And the median is at 46. So I would say, I'm going to highlight this one. I think that's probably my correct answer. But let me double check the rest. The range of the daytime temperatures is 10. So in order to find the range, I want to do my max minus my min. My maximum minus my minimum. So that would be 53 minus 40. Does that equal 10? No, it equals 13. So this is not correct. How about the interquartile range of the data is 4? To find the interquartile range, remember I do Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is 50 and Q1 is 43. Does that equal 4? No, it equals 7. So I was correct. My correct answer is B. Number 15, the chart shows the number of items purchased by customers in an express checkout line in the grocery store. And it wants us to find the lower quartile. So the first thing I want to do is put my data in order from least to greatest. So my data in order from least to greatest is 1, 3, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 13, 15. And I'm just going to double check by counting to make sure I have all of my numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. Okay, so my first step is to find my median. So I'm going to do that since I know I have 9 data points. There's going to be 1 in the middle. So I'm going to cross off until I get to the middle. This is my median. My lower quartile is what I'm looking for. So I don't even really need to do my upper quartile. I just need to do my lower quartile. So I'm going to cross off until I get my 2 in the middle. My 2 in the middle are 3 and 7. In order to find the middle of those, which is my lower quartile, I'm going to add them up and divide by 2. And 10 divided by 2 is 5, which means A is my correct answer. And the mean absolute deviation. This is not something that we normally teach in 6th grade, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to find it anyway, just in case you're curious. So the first thing it says is the dot plot shows the number of history books borrowed from the library each day during a 10-day period. In order to find the mean absolute deviation, we need to do a couple things. The first step is to find the mean. So I'm going to do that by first listing all of my data points. 5, 6, 7, 8. I skipped the 7. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 data points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 data points. So next thing I'm going to do, or the first thing I need to do, is find the mean of all of the data points. And I'm going to put that over here, the mean. So when I add all these data points up, I get 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7. I'm putting it in my calculator. Plus 9 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. I get 80. And I know there's 10 data points, so I'm going to take 80 divided by 10 and figure out that my mean equals, did I write 10? Seriously, I did. My mean equals 8. Okay, now, second step in finding the mean absolute deviation is to find the differences. So I need to find the difference between each data point and the mean. So for example, this 5 would actually be 8 minus 5, so the difference is 3. For 6, it would be 8 minus 6, so the difference is 2. For 7, it would be 8 minus 7, which is 1, and again 1. 8 minus 8 is 0, 0. 9 minus 8 is 1. 10 minus 8 is 2. 10 minus 8 is 2. 10 minus 8 is 2. So now I have a new set of data. I still have 10 data points, but now I need to find the mean of this data set. So when I add these together, I get 14. And then I'm going to take that and I'm going to divide that by 10. So 14 divided by 10 is 1.4. And this is my mean absolute deviation. It's the mean of the differences. Okay, just in case you were curious. Talk to you later. Bye.